미스터 님포노비랑 1대1 단독 인터뷰 제안이 들어왔습니다. My name is 성의 킴. 또 이게 제가 영어가 안 되다 보니까 결국 중간 통역이 필요했고요. 게다가 이게 픽 높은 화상 인터뷰이기도 해서 중간중간 막 이렇게 예리하게 치고 들어가는 게 이게 안 돼 또. 뭐 그래서 별로 재미도 없을 것 같고 그래서 그닥 안 내켰는데 근데 생각해보니까 언제 또 이런 세계적인 지도의 유명 디렉터랑 이 다이다이 인터뷰를 해보겠어. 그 모바일로의 그 어떤 결정에 돈 문제는 정말 없었습니까? 답변회피 하시는군요. 이건 번역하지 않으셔도 되고요. 폰이 있든 없든 그러니까 인폰업 사태를 정면 돌파하는 것이냐? 왜냐? 과금구조 때문에. 이런 기사 나와갖고 제가 정말 놀랐습니다.
And that's not true.
미스터 생 선생님의 예상은 틀릴 것입니다. 예, 그래도 뭐 일방적인 보도자료 낭독회가 되지는 않게 불편함 건드리기를 이렇게 계속 해보려고 나름 노력은 했습니다. 당연히 숙제라든가 뒷광고 절대 아니고요. 홍보나 실드, 억가나 사이다 뭐 이런 목적성보다는 언론매체에서 인터뷰 기사 보시듯이 뭐 그런 성격으로 봐주시면 좋겠습니다. 예, 안녕하십니까. Let me introduce myself. My name is 성의 킴. I'm game YouTuber in Korea. 이거 영어로보다 한국말로 하겠습니다. 그냥 통역을 해주시죠. 제가 영어가 좀 짧아갖고요. 예, 안녕하십니까 미스터 챙 선생님. 블리자드 코리아에서 불빨방이라는 그 디아블로 프로그램 했었는데 그때 보시고 많은 피드백을 주셨던 걸로 이제 또 알고 있습니다. 자, 이제 저희가 좀 아이스 브레이킹을 했으면 좋겠는데 챙 선생님, 저를 만난 기분이 어떠십니까? 그리고 또 저를 알고 계셨습니까?
We've talked before the immortal alpha testing phase. We did an interview, and so and I know that you're very popular in Korea, and lots of people want to know what you have to say, partly because you used to work in the game industry as well. And so I think it's very helpful that you're able to bring that perspective.
예, 저도 이제 게임 개발자 출신으로서 이제 게임 개발 최전선에 있으신 이제 미스터 챙 선생님 아주 관심 있게 지켜보고 있는데요. 제가 유명하다고 말씀해 주셔서 저는 정말 기뻐요. 그런데 챙 선생님은 저희 한국에서 아마 가장 유명한 게임 디렉터실 겁니다.
Do you guys not have?
챙 선생님도 이제 자부심을 가져주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Thank you. Very humbling. Oh, I was just saying that at Blizzard, you know, we often think about the people in Korea who play our games. You know, Blizzard and Korea have a very long history together. So that's very humbling to hear. I think 2003 StarCraft was very, very popular, and my favorite race to play in StarCraft was Terran, and there was this one famous Korean StarCraft player. He went by the name Slayer's Boxer.
임요환, 슬레이어스 박서.
Anytime I could get my hands on a replay of him playing, I would watch it.
한국에 대해 좋게 말씀해 주셔서 감사합니다만 저는 테란을 싫어합니다. 왜냐면 전 프로토스니까요. I hate 테란. 미스터 챙, 2018년 11월에 처음 발표된 디아블로 이모탈은 드디어 올해 6월 출시를 앞두고 있습니다. 참 길었어요. 이모탈의 출시 일정이 이렇게 늦어진 이유가 있습니까?
Good things come to those who wait. This is, you know, possibly our most ambitious Diablo game yet. I mean, the game is just huge. And we've been doing beta testing now for almost a year and a half. And we've made changes each time. We've had 3 beta periods, and every time we make more changes to the game. We added the cycle of strife. We added, which is the clans of 100 fighting against one another for dominance on the server. We added 8-player raids to the game. We added controller support. We added the PC version of the game. We added set items to the game. And all of this is based on feedback that the players have given us through these different beta phases. So I know that people really, really want to play, and I'm glad that people are so excited to play. But you know, making such a large game definitely takes time.
열심히 만들었다 이렇게 정리가 됩니다. 이런 키워드가 느껴져요. 핵앤슬래시, 파밍, 세트 아이템, 이건 뭐 블리자드 디아블로 했던 저희 한국 사람들은 너무 잘 알고 있는 건데 디아블로가 MMORPG라고? 디아블로의 100인 클랜, 8인 레이드? 이게 잘 매칭이 안 돼요. 어색하단 말이죠. 왜냐? 디아블로는 혼자 하는 게임이라는 그런 인식이 되게 강하기 때문이에요. 디아블로 이모탈은 기존 시리즈에 비해서 MMO 요소가 강조되는 게임으로 우리는 이제 듣고 있습니다. 기존 시리즈 팬들은 이 디아블로 이모탈에서 어떤 매력을 느낄 수 있을까요? 좀 생소할 수도 있을 것 같거든요.
I think Diablo on mobile is a fantastic place to have an MMO. You know, one of the roles that mobile phones play in our lives is to keep us in touch with our friends and loved ones. That's what we use our phones for, is to stay in touch with each other. It's an inherently social device. So I think it plays great as an MMO. Of course, Diablo Immortal exists even beyond your phone. We now have a PC client, so people can play on both their mobile phone and their PC. But for people who are playing primarily on their mobile phone, we have other features like integrated voice chat that makes it easier for you to talk with the other people that you're playing with. So I think it maps really well. Now, for players who really prefer a single player experience, like you say, hey, I want to play Diablo Immortal, but I really just want to play solo, that's okay. We won't force you to play multiplayer to play, for example, through the main quest storyline. And you can also do some bounties on your own, or you could even join a clan, but continue to do solo activities. We're definitely going to encourage you to play with other people. The dungeons will require 4 players, and the raids are for 8, but you don't have to participate in those activities if you don't want to, although we certainly hope that you will. And we try to provide some features in the game, like matchmaking, to make it easier for people to find other people to play with.
이 기존 디아블로 시리즈에서 볼 수 없었던 직업 변경 기능이라는 이 파격적인 시스템 말씀하셨는데, 실제로 저도 디아2 레저렉션을 하고 있으면서 펠러딘이 86렙이거든요. 근데 아마존을 처음부터 다시 키우려니까 이게 키울 마음이 안 들어요. 그래서 직업을 변경을 딱 86렙으로 해주면 좋겠다, 이런 생각을 하고 있던 차에 이모탈에서 이걸 해준다니까 뭐 좋은 기능이라고 생각이 됩니다. 이게 우려되는 점이 뭐냐면요, 한국 게이머들한테는 편중 현상이라는 게 글로벌 유저보다 좀 심하다고 알려져 있어요. 그러니까 기능적으로 판단해서 이 직업이 좋더라, 효율이 좋더라, 이쪽 직업 쫙 몰려가고 이런 게 많단 말이에요. 소위 메타라 그러죠. 가장 좋은 직업으로 막 편중되는 현상이 더 심할 것 같은데 이게 걱정이 됩니다. 어떻게 생각하십니까?
One of the reasons we added a class change feature is because there's so much progression in Diablo Immortal. And so, it feels bad to have to leave that behind if you want to try out a different class. I do want to talk a little bit about why there's a cooldown at all. So we're currently thinking that the cooldown will be between 1 week and 4 weeks. And the main reason is because we don't want to be the kind of game where you're constantly switching classes, like maybe during combat or even in between activities. We still want a sense of identity, like you are a wizard or you are a barbarian. It's not something where I switch to, a demon hunter when I'm doing PvP, and then I switch to my crusader to do an elder rift, and then I switch to another class when I'm going to do, a dungeon. We kind of want you to pick a class and really identify as that class.
최근에 PC 버전도 지원한다는 얘기가 나오긴 했습니다만, 기본적으로 디아블로 이모탈은 모바일 게임이란 말이에요. 근데 디아블로는 핵앤슬래시 액션 RPG란 말이에요. 조작이 대단히 중요한데 모바일 기기로는 이 정교한 플레이가 좀 어렵다는 그런 단점이 좀 있어요.
I think Diablo Immortal has great controls. I know that a lot of people, they look at mobile and they've tried touchscreen controls and they say, touchscreen controls aren't for me. But some of those people will play Diablo Immortal and say, oh, actually, these controls are really good. So I think that playing is believing. And if people can get a chance to play it, I hope that many of them will agree the controls on mobile are great. And then if they're still not happy, then we have controller support for mobile. And we also have, as we've mentioned, the PC version with controller support, mouse and keyboard, and WASD movement. So that would be my first, is Diablo Immortal has great controls.
혹자는 블리자드가 소위 매출이 더 잘 나오는 모바일 게임판에 뛰어들기 위해서 이모탈을 모바일로 낸 거 아니냐라는 의견을 많이 내고 있습니다. 실제로 우리나라, 특히 이제 한국의 모바일 게임들이 어마어마한 매출을 올리고 있는 것도 어떤 블리자드를 좀 자극하지 않았나, 뭐 이런 추측들이 나오는데, 이거를 모바일 게임으로 개발한 진짜 이유는 무엇인가요?
In today's society, many people prefer to play their games on mobile. Some people don't play games on PC, they only play games on mobile. And so if we don't make mobile games, they'll never play a Blizzard game. And so for me, it's about making sure that we welcome many millions of new players into the Blizzard family.
정말 이제 모범 답안을 말씀해 주셔서 감사한데, 그 모바일로의 어떤 결정에 돈 문제는 정말 없었습니까?
I enjoy playing mobile games as well. I want want a game like Diablo Immortal that I can play anywhere.
답변을 회피하시는군요. 이건 번역하지 않으셔도 되고요. 알겠습니다. 자, 그러면 다음 질문 드릴게요. 비공개 베타 때 한국 유저들의 피드백이 많이 반영되었다 이렇게 말씀을 해주셨어요. 예를 들어서 뭐 세계 정복자 레벨 시스템의 개선이라든지 이거 말고 또 한국 유저들의 피드백을 바탕으로 변경되는 점들이 있을까요? 다시는 한국인을 무시하지 마라 뭐 이런 민도 있거든요. 한국 게이머들 의견 많이 반영됐습니까?
Yes, the feedback has impacted the game. As he mentions, the World Paragon system was definitely one. I'll mention two other things that we got from Korean players just for fun. One that we acted on and one that we didn't. Players in Korea asked for a PC version. And so we're doing the PC version. But Korean players, some of them also asked for autoplay. And I have to say, I am not in a place where I think autoplay belongs in Diablo Immortal, and it's fun to actually just use your skills. I said the controls are great, and it's really fun to use those controls in your player and your build and your skills to slay demons. And I wouldn't want to see autoplay replace that.
다음 질문 드릴 텐데 이게 가장 중요한 질문이에요. 한국 유저들은 저희 한국 게임에 어느 정도 실망한 부분이 있어요. 왜냐? 과금 구조 때문에. 근데 저희 한국 유저 중에 블리자드에 실망하셨던 분들도 계신데 블리자드에는 과금 때문에 실망한 적은 없습니다. 모바일 게임이 과금 구조가 정말 독한 경우가 많아요. 이모탈의 과금 구조는 어떤 모습인지, 어떤 상품이 매출처가 될지 이걸 좀 답변을 해주세요. 하나만 덧붙여서요. 얼마 전에 이런 기사 나와갖고 제가 정말 놀랐습니다. 네덜란드, 벨기에에서 이모탈이 서비스 금지됐다. 그래서 이건 진짜 랜덤박스가 독해서 그런 거 아닌가? 명확하게 말씀을 해달라 부탁드립니다.
This is an important question. So a couple days ago, I also saw the article, maybe we saw the same one, that implied that we had added loot boxes to Diablo Immortal since the beta. And that's not true. The core monetization mechanics for Diablo Immortal have not changed since the closed beta test. Real money cannot be used to get gold. It cannot be used to get XP. We don't sell gold boosts or XP boosts. It cannot be used to get gear. And that refers to sort of the items that you're wearing and the legendary items and anything that's used to rank up your gear. What we do have that in order to support the game is we have some items that you can use to enhance. For example, one is a reforged stone. So as you level up your gear, it can get random properties, and you can use a reforged stone to re-roll the properties. You can get those reforged stones through normal gameplay, or you can also get specialized reforged stones that let you roll a narrow set of affixes onto the item. Another item that we have is what is called a legendary crest. And a legendary crest is an item that you can use when you run an Elder Rift. So an Elder Rift is just a short 3 or 4 minute randomized dungeon. And when you use a legendary crest, it adds a random modifier, 2 random modifiers actually, to the Elder Rift. The random modifier can be positive or negative. So perhaps monsters run faster, or the ground is covered in pools of poison. Those would be negative modifiers. Or maybe it's a positive modifier, like the player cooldowns are reduced, or enemies explode when you kill them. And so you get either positive or negative modifiers. And when you use a legendary crest, it also guarantees that you will get a legendary gem drop from the dungeon as well. And so that is a way for players to change their gameplay experience and get more reward from the dungeon. Now, for players who don't want to spend but want to get legendary gems, we also have rare crests, which are also available. And you can earn both rare crests and legendary crests completely for free, by the way. The rare crests are available every day, and they're easier to get. And you can get runes, and those runes can be crafted into legendary gems. So I think those will be popular. And then the last thing that I think will also be popular, and it also supports the game, is our battle pass. And we actually saw during the closed beta that a lot of people bought the battle pass, and I'm really happy about that. I love battle passes in games. I think that they're really fun. I feel like it's a great way to play and get extra rewards while also getting objectives or quests, and that provides some structure to my gameplay session.
6월 3일로 런칭일이 정해졌는데 그 런칭일 발표하실 때 폰이 있든 없든 그러니까 whether or not you have fun 이라는 말씀을 하셨어요. 그것은 마치 이 어떤 라임이나 플로우가 Do you guys not have fun? 그 님폰업 사태를 의식한 그런 표현 아니냐? 님폰업 사태를 정면 돌파하는 것이냐?
Yes, I said whether or not you have a phone as a nod to the meme. When I said, do you guys not have phones? That has been difficult. At the time, we were announcing a game that we really wanted people to love. As a game developer, that's why you make games, is because you want to make something that brings joy and happiness to players. And, I've gotten some distance from that. It hurt at the time, but now we kind of just, hey, let's have a little bit of fun with it. I'm a fun-loving guy. Let's make a game that people want to play.
책님 너무 바쁘시겠지만 정말 이런 기회가 어디 있겠습니까? 딱 5분만 시간 더 주실 수 있는지 여쭤보실 수 있어요? Give me 5 minutes, please, Mr. Chang.
Yeah, 5 more minutes. No problem.
오케이. 자, 런칭 때 말렙이 60이라고 들었는데 말렙까지 대략 시간이 얼마나 걸리는지 그리고 최초 말렙 유저는 어느 나라에서 나올지 너무 좀 뻔한 질문이라 죄송합니다만 여쭤봅니다.
The max level is 60. It would take 20 or 30 hours to reach max level. Now, I will say, people shouldn't rush through the game. Take your time, enjoy the storyline. Don't be in such a hurry. That said, I know some people like to hurry. I wouldn't be surprised if the first max level user came from Korea.
미스터 생, 선생님의 예상은 틀릴 것입니다. 20-30시간이라고 하셨는데 분명히 한국 유저들은 스토리 스킵 한 다음에 아마 7시간 15분 정도의 보스를 잡지 않을까 이렇게 예상을 합니다.
Maybe. We'll see.
다시는 한국인을 무시하지 마라! 제 개인적인 질문입니다. 저 와우 정말 좋아했던 사람인데 미스터 챙이 옛날 와우 때 그 안퀴라즈의 쌍둥이라는 보스를 디자인하셨다고 알고 있어요. 근데 저는 안퀴라즈의 쌍둥이에서 그냥 몇 줄을 꼬라박다가 너무 잡기 힘들어서 포기했던 기억이 있거든요. 왜 안퀴라즈의 쌍둥이를 그렇게 정말 더럽게 만드셨습니까? 너무 어려웠습니다. 더럽게, dirty 꼭 번역해 주세요.
It's a very difficult fight. That's what World of Warcraft raiding is about. I remember that a lot of fights up until that point were usually about like one tank, and everyone was just DPSing. And so we really wanted to play around with having 2 tanks. And it was designed so that maybe even one of your 2 tanks could be a warlock. And we just thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if his guild tried to do it with 1 warrior and 1 warlock, or if they used 2 warriors. I've heard different reports about which way is easier.
그때 흑마탱 못 구해갖고 정말 빡세는데 이건 언급 안 해주세요. 이거 번역 안 하셔도 되고요. 자, 그럼 이건 질문 아니고 마지막 이제 책님께 드리는 인사 겸 어떤 부탁이 있습니다. 제가 지금 이것을 전혀 블리자드한테 돈 받은 거 아니고 한국 디아블로 유저들이 궁금해하는 것을 이제 책님의 말을 전달해 드리는 것입니다. 오늘 인터뷰는 정말 진실된 인터뷰겠죠?
Yeah, everything was sincere.
오늘 인터뷰 정말 감사합니다. Thank you, Mr. Chang.
Thank you.